ahead, girl.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Cano. My class and I work together to further our knowledge on death associated with COVID-19. A World on Pause. We chose to base our project on COVID-19 because it is something that has affected us the most, not only my class, but friends, teachers, and our community.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Leslie Lopez, and we welcome everyone. We are Ms. Hadegi's fifth period statistic class. All of us have worked together to gather this information on COVID-19. We decided on COVID-19 since it is a worldwide pandemic and it puts a pause on our world. We wanted to see how it affects our community and how we can take further precautions.
Hello, my name's Gio, and as a class, we decided to divide the work, splitting our classmates into groups. We start off with the team leaders who helped around guiding us throughout the whole research process. Next was our data analyst who would create our histogram and frequency table. And we also have our data representation managers who were in charge of collecting our data and putting it into dot plots. These are also other groups. We have the database and presentation managers. The database manager's job consisting of making sure we had valid data for our responses. Their responsibility was a major part of our study, as one wrong number could get the whole study be invalid. Then we have our presentation managers, including me. Our job consisted of creating the presentation in front of you today. This was one of the most stressful parts of this project.
Our topic questions were, how many people do you know that have gotten COVID and how many people do you know that have passed away from COVID? COVID-19 is a worldwide catastrophe in which we have all been a part of. It has affected our lives one way or another. Our project questions regarding COVID cases is something that we can all relate to and input our personal information to create a precise data set survey. Our class project consists of survival, fatal, and sanitation information that could be put into consideration on how momentous this is.
These are our collaborative efforts, and we went around and asking the team a few questions to record the process, such as, what are you contributing to your team?
Good morning, my name is Jorge Andrade, and what I contributed to my team is that I made sure that our team marks the names in black when they only put one part of the name. For example, if they're missing either their first or last name.
Good morning, my name is Jose Castro, and I made sure everyone was doing what they're supposed to do and keep everyone on track. Made sure everyone had a task to complete.
Good morning, my name is Adalido Oregon, and what I contributed to my team was making sure that everyone in our frequency table was perfect, and I also worked on removing all outliers in our stamp sheet spreadsheet.
We also decided to ask our team what problems they encounter in the data collection process. Here's what some of them had to say.
Good morning. My name is Diana Aguilar, and for me, many people would answer with in the Google form with non-numerical responses, causing for invalid data and making it hard for us to organize it.
Good morning, my name is Saul Juarez, and an encounter I had when collecting my data was that people weren't filling out my survey and my QR code wasn't working.
Good morning, my name is Metzli Barrera, and a lot of the issues that I had came from the lack of understanding from those who were surveyed. This made it more difficult to collect data with all the confusion that loomed over the questions of the survey. A lot of our surveyed audience gave us information that was irrelevant to us, which also added to some of the issues I encountered.
Lastly, we went around and asked our team how they kept the data from getting unorganized or being invalid.
Good morning, my name is Cindy, and my responsibility was to color code and organize our data. We used specific colors like red, yellow, and pink to sort out our data from invalid answers.
My name is Alyssa Alcala, and we use Google Sheets to keep our data organized. This helped a lot because we could all access the same information and split the project equally between our groups to make the entire process smoother.
We will now be taking a detailed look into our data analysis. We will start with Alyssa telling us about the data gathering process.
So as a class, we originally gathered over 3,000 responses. However, many of the responses we got were invalid or duplicates. So after sorting through them and removing any invalid answers, we got a true number of 2,501 data points used in our study.
Good morning, my name is Brian Fergoso, and I'll be talking about our data acquisition part of the project. When collecting our data, we found that creating a Google form and sharing it was not easy because many people had very little trust in the link that we sent them. It was easier to create a QR code and ask people to scan it with their phone because it could be scanned more quickly and instead of waiting for a link to be sent to them.
Good morning. I'm Stephanie Perez, and our group was in charge of finding out the exact day that people were most active in answering and completing our survey. The day that people were most active was on November 29th, and we found this out by completing a frequency table.
Hi, my name is Edgar Perez, and based on our timestamp, November 29, 2021 was the day the most data was collected, making up 48.44% of total survey responses, with a numerical count of 1,331 people. And on December 1st, 2021 was the day the least amount of data was collected, making up 0.40% of total responses, with a numerical count of 11 people.
Hi, my name is Andrea Perez, and our group was in charge of representing ethnicity. We wanted to see which ethnicity group was the most dominated in our community. After collecting all our data, we created a frequency analysis and grouped each ethnicity into different categories.
Hi, my name is Alex Padilla, and we had a total of 6 groups: Hispanic, South Latino, Caucasian, African American, Asian, Middle Eastern, and other. Other is being classified as anyone who is mixed and whose race wasn't listed.
Hi, my name is Alejandra Carrillo, and our Hispanic group consisted of 84.58%, Caucasian 9.59%, African American was 1.57%, Asian 2.08%, Middle Eastern 0.47%, and other 1.71%.
Hi, my name is Naomi Rodriguez, and on average, more than half of those surveyed were Hispanic Latino, and on average, the lowest ethnicity group surveyed were Middle Eastern. This shows how Hispanic Latinos is most nominated in our community. Middle Eastern took up the smallest percentage due to making it its own category after seeing the survey's results. Since many people put it under others, we decided as a class to make it its own category.
Hi, my name is Brisa, and we chose to analyze age because we wanted to see if there was a difference in the amount of people that have gotten infected by the different age groups. We mainly wanted to see if age had anything to do with who and how many people got infected.
Hi, my name is Jose de Luna, and as you can see by our frequency table, we split the age groups into classes of 10 to see how many people in each age group responded. From our data, you can see that the ages 10 through 19 have responded the most by a large margin, meaning that most of our responses were from people in their early to late teens. According to our histogram, we can also see that as our highest point is the age group ranging from 10 to 19, we had less and less data from each of the other groups, causing our data to skew to the right.
Our data analysis question was, how many people do you know that has gotten COVID? According to our data set, our participants knew about 10 people who have gotten COVID. Our median answer was 6, and our most common answer was 5 people.
Hi, my name is Jasmine, and for the question, how many people do you know that have passed away from COVID? We had to find the mean, median, and mode. For the mean, we got 1.79, which means that our data shows that our surveyors knew around 1.79 people who passed away from COVID. For the median, we got 1, which is a middle value, and our mode, which is our most frequent value, was 0. We also had to find the standard deviation, and we got 2.78, which means on average, our data points deviate 2.78 units away from the mean.
It was very important for us to understand if our data was normally distributed for our question, how many people do you know have gotten COVID? So for that, we created an empirical rule test. According to our test, we found that our data was normally distributed because it successfully has 95% of its data within 2 standard deviations from the mean.
Good morning, my name is Catherine Gaitan, and as we created our dot plot for the empirical row analysis for how many people do you know who have gotten COVID, we noticed that the distribution was positively skewed since our distribution shows a right-ended tail.
Hello, my name is Alyssa, and for the gotten COVID empirical row test, we had a total of 12 outliers based on value that did not pass through the 2 standard deviations. Our outliers were 70, 80, 4 100s, 110, 115, 150, 200, 1,000, and 1,044. We verified that these outliers were valid due to some participants working in the medical field, which explains why some outliers were so high.
As you can see, according to our box plot, you can see that our lower boundary starts at -9 and our upper boundary starts at 23. Our minimum number of 0 and our quartiles 1 through 3 are all within the boundaries. With our quartile 2 being 6, we can determine that the median to the amount of people that have gotten COVID is 6.
Hi, my name is Naomi Sanchez, and in order to check if the data was normally distributed, our class conducted the empirical rule test for our second question, how many people have passed away from COVID? With the chart that was created above, we were able to observe that our data was not evenly distributed since it failed to have 99.7% of the data within 3 standard deviations away from the mean.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Molina, and for the question, how many people passed away due to COVID, we created a dot plot and came to a conclusion that our empirical rule analysis for passed away was positively skewed since our distribution shows a right-ended tail. Based on value, we had 2 outliers, which were 30 and 45, since it is more than 2 standard deviation from the mean.
Hello, my name is Alan Ortiz. The following is a box plot analysis for those passed away from COVID. Our minimum being 0, just like our first quartile, our second quartile value being 1, and our third quartile value being 2, and our maximum being 45.
The lower bound was -3 and the upper bound was 5. This means that any number between these two numbers are no outliers. So any number that's above 5 or below -3 are outliers. An example of an outlier that was upper bound was 145 people that passed away based on its location.
Hi, my name is Sona, and this is the data analysis for mortality rate. So now that we analyzed how many people have gotten COVID and how many people had passed away, we need to come up with a mortality rate. So we found that 61% of participants knew at least one person that passed from COVID, and 39% of them survived.
Hello, my name is Taguy Himayakian. Our participants knew 2 people who lost their lives to COVID-19 on average. Since 61.3% of participants knew at least one person and 38.70% did not know anyone that passed away from COVID-19, we have an overall average mortality rate of 20.21%.
Hi, my name is Carla. According to the CDC, we can heavily see the impact COVID had on the Latino population. Being the most surveyed group in our study, we can further analyze their experience on COVID compared to other ethnicities.
As you can see from our data and our histogram, the 3 most populated ethnicities that were infected by COVID were those of non-Hispanic, Native American heritage, the non-Hispanic Black community, and those of Hispanic heritage.
Hello, my name is Marianne. According to the CDC data, people were spreading the virus faster during holidays because of social interactions. Also, cold weather, maskless people can also increase COVID cases.
Our data that we collected in comparison to COVID cases around the world shows a pretty drastic difference since the affected audience has been expanded. According to some studies, it has showed that the infected COVID rates have dropped since the height of the pandemic back in March of 2020.
Hi, my name is Alicia, and we research local COVID cases. The chart shows how many ICU patients had COVID in different counties. According to the chart, the two counties with the most ICU patients with COVID were LA County and Orange County, and Alameda County had the lowest COVID ICU patients. As of lately, the number of ICU patients with COVID are continuing to decrease. Hi, my name is City, and our main goal was to research and keep tabs on any recent news regarding COVID-19. During the process of our project, we have gathered new information regarding COVID-19, which has had a serious impact on the people around the world. During the 3-week process of our project, we have been affected with a new COVID variant, which has now been identified as Omicron. It was first seen in countries like Africa, Canada, and the United States. Since the new variant has been discovered, the United States has placed a travel ban on countries where the variant was first appeared. Since Omicron is relatively new, scientists have yet to figure out how to control the new variant and if the existing vaccines are able to fight the new variant.
Hi, my name is Lisbeth Ramos. As a whole class, we gather data with specific questions and QR codes. Group projects require communication for an organized data study. We learned to interpret a large group of data using Google Sheets. When we finished gathering our data and removing dead responses, we had a total of 2,501 responses.
Hi, my name is Savannah, and in conclusion, we learned that on average, people knew about 10 people with COVID and 2 people that have passed away from COVID. We've seen the rising and falling trends throughout this data project, and we now know that the Hispanic and Latino population knew the most people that have gotten COVID-19 and who knew the most deaths. We also found that we had huge outliers consisting of 1,000 and 1,044, and they were due to gaining responses from the medical field.
After seeing the data on COVID-19, we also researched some ways you can help protect yourself and others. You can protect others by wearing a mask with your mask covering your mouth and nose. You can also stay home. Or self-quarantine when feeling any COVID symptoms. You could also get the COVID-19 vaccine not to only protect yourself, but others.
Hi, my name is Manuel, and one way you can help prevent spread of COVID-19 is washing your hands at least 20 seconds with soap, and when going out, carry a small container of hand sanitizer that is made up at least 60% of alcohol.
The passing of my mom, who recently passed away due to COVID. I appreciate all my classmates for putting so much effort and extending our data. I also want to give a big thank you to Ms. Hauragi, who pushed us to do an amazing job in this project. Lastly, I would like to thank the administration for taking time out of their day to listen to our presentation. Thank you, guys.
Good job, guys. Thank you so much, Mr. Duarte, Mr. Karen, Miss Karen, Mr. Karen, Miss Wall, for coming, and Miss Leon. We appreciate it, and hopefully you enjoyed our little data project. This was their
amazing.
final
Great
project.
job, Oilers. Amazing job. Great job, Ms. Aregi. Great job, guys. You gave me a lot of information. Obviously, we've all lost someone. I've lost several family members. Sorry, very sorry, Kimberly, about your mom. And I think there hasn't been one person on our campus hasn't been touched by this. Yeah, to compile the information, and this is great stuff. And I thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Merry Christmas.